What's going on, everybody? Thank you for coming out. Welcome to Punchlines on the Porch. This is number 4.
Yep.
Number 4. Thank you all so much for coming out. We're excited. Give it up for the ladder.
Yeah!
Give it up for, what's his name?
Werner von Latterman.
Werner von Latterman. Pretty cool. Yeah, we're excited. Thank you guys so much. We're excited. We have a great lineup tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're just going to, I'm your host. You know me. I'm Zach Amon. You know who I am. I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty popular. I'm pretty COVID's been fun. I started watching Jeopardy during COVID, and there was this guy that started winning. His name was Seth. Dude just went on a hot streak, and I really got into this guy. I was like, this is my boy. This is the dude that I'm going to like I will follow him into battle. Like, I don't care. Like, this guy is a winner, and I like him. And so, like, he's just dominating these Jeopardy rounds. And then he goes up against this lady named Cindy one day. And Cindy has about the personality of a houseplant. Like, not much is there, And she beats my boy Seth, and I'm upset. Like, I was, like, physically, like, ill. Like, I felt like I had lost my dad in a battle. Like, it was terrible. Like, I was sad. And then I was just like, this lady is the enemy. Like, forever on, I will hate this lady. Like, this is just how it's going to be. And anytime I continued watching. I should have just stopped, but I continued watching. And it was just like every time I'd be like, missed the question. And when she would, I'd get mad and throw things and kick the dog and get real upset. And and then one day she lost, and I cheered. You'd have thought like my team won the Super Bowl, or I'd watched like a rocket take off successfully. Like, it just felt so good. And then at the end of that episode, it just cuts to Alex Trebek, and he's like, what you saw was Cindy's last episode. She died between filming and airing from brain cancer. And I'm like, oh no. It's like, category asshole for 400, please. Felt bad, but fuck her, she's dead. She's not gonna hear it. I get it. I feel like a threesome with a mom and a daughter would be, like, really weird. Like, it'd be hard. Like, that's a weird, like, fantasy thing I see. Like, I've had friends talk about this, and I'm like, that's such an odd thing, to pull off, but it's like, it's already hard enough to meet your girlfriend's mom, but, like, to find out you got a tag teamer later, like, that makes Thanksgiving a little weird, You're like, hey, can you pass me the gravy and then later cover me in yours? And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I just want some stuffing. And they're like, us too. And I'm like, please, no. I feel like it'd be weird. Like, what if they fight? They get into arguments. They're like, you're not sucking that dick right. Give me that dick. Let me show you how to suck it. And it's like, Jesus Christ, lady, stop it. So many questions. Like, who do you start with? Who do you end with? What if the mom's better? What if you're like, hey, she's experienced. No, I feel like it'd be weird. It's October. It's Halloween, spooky season. Witch season. A lot of witch popularity goes up during this time. And it's kind of funny to me because, you see a lot of, like, the witch Halloween decorations, and a lot of it is, like, witches running into houses and poles or falling off their brooms. And it's just proving that even as witches, women still can't drive. Isn't misogyny fun in 2020? We have, I've noticed we have weird measurements for things. Like, have you noticed whenever you, like, go to get a new car or something, you, like, open the trunk and you're like, man, you can fit 4 bodies in here. It's like, that's a weird way to measure trunk space. That's strange. Like, you go to a amusement park and like, this roller coaster is as tall as 3 statues of liberties, and you're like, well, how tall is the Statue of Liberty? And they're like, 13 buses, and it's like, what the fuck? I can't figure this out. The math is too hard. I like internet tests, like BuzzFeed stuff. Found out I was a Ravenclaw. That's kind of cool. I'm a Lannister. Yeah. I'm a Lannister. That's kind of cool. Found out I sexually identify as a Kit Kat. Don't know what that means yet. I think it's because I break so easily. I don't know. I feel like if there was an assassination of the president, this would be the only time in history where we would be more upset about the type of gun that was used. You know, we'd be like, wait, he used what gun? When he could have used this gun? I don't know guns. I don't know names of guns. I just assume. I found out recently my girlfriend's into a lot of, like, 2000s alt-rock bands, like Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace and Shine Down and stuff like that. And I'm like, awesome, I'm dating my stepdad. This is fun. Like, you gonna fuck my mom too? Like, what's going on? I work at a bank, and every once in a while, people will bring their dogs through the drive-thru, which is nice. It's fun to see dogs every once in a while. We have treats for them, and it's always fun for me because I like to give the dogs a treat. But before I do, I always like to say, "Hey, does your dog want a bone?" And their faces are always shocked. They're always like, "Did he say? I know there's treats there, but did this guy want to fuck my dog?" And it's like, yes, lady, I do. Bichon Frises are cute. Come on. Like, hand that dog, put it through. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not fucking dogs in my work. You do that in private like an adult. You know what I'm talking about, Michael Patton. All right. I play guitar, and I started playing guitar for every reason you play guitar, to get some pussy. You know what I'm saying, Brian Bizjack? And it turns out to do that, you have to be in a band. And I'm not. So I'm really just kind of like a talented loser. Like, that's kind of I'm like Goodwill Hunting if he never really wanted to achieve his potential. If he was like, I like being a janitor. And it's like, but you can solve these equations. And it's like, yeah, but vomit's easy to pick up. That's me. A loser. But I can play guitar. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat world we live in. Right? I haven't figured out a punchline to that, so bear with that one. I don't like public affection. Not into it. Never really have been. I don't mind holding hands, like that kind of thing. That's fine. But like, it's never really been my thing. And I think it's because in high school I dated a girl who was constantly on me, like wouldn't let me go, always like hanging on my shoulders. And one day I just had to be like, look, you're heavy. You got to get back in your wheelchair. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm a big fan of Superman. And I like Superman. But Superman, landed in Kansas. And it's like, I've been to Kansas. I feel like Superman would be a little bit more conservative than what he actually puts on. You know? They'd be like, Superman, save these people in the burning building. And he'd be like, all right, how many of them are white? Let me look. Let me check. He's like, hey, they started this fire. They can get themselves out of it, Plus, this is North Side Metropolis. Who gives a shit about this area? Flies off. Trump would endorse Superman. He would. He'd be like, this Superman. I don't do Trump presses. This is Superman, He built a wall in 10 minutes. He's single-handedly carrying every Mexican over the border. And it's like if Trump grabs you by the pussy, you die, Or Superman. If Superman grabs you by the pussy, you die. Fucked it up. Fucked it up. That's okay. Superman would share, like, anti-vax articles. And be like, don't do it. They cause autism. And you're like, Superman, come on. They don't. And he's like, don't wear masks. Masks are stupid. I can blow COVID away. I'm Superman. And you're like, oh, no. Superman's dumb. Superman doesn't believe science, even though he defies it. And then Superman would get COVID, and we'd be like, fucking idiot. Oh, that's relevant. Anyway. I like Batman, too, though. Batman's really my favorite, because I think Batman represents America in the best way. Like, Bruce Wayne has all the money to fix every issue in Gotham. He can do it. But he would rather just use that money to beat the shit out of poor people. And if that isn't the best representation of America, I don't know what is. All right, let's kick this shit off. My name has been Zach Amon. All right. You guys ready for the next comic coming to the stage? This is the guy who set all this up tonight, who's the fucking king of sounds, dude. Please welcome. What do you want to come up as? Dr. Devo! Let's see that.
Yeah, that's a quick comedy tip, guys. If you just set up the entire show, you can do all the time you want to do. It's an easy way to to get yourself some stage time. Just be the roadie for them or whatever. It's great to see so many people out here. I know I've got the lighting going on up here. It's like a real show because I can't see any of you, so I'm just assuming there's like 55 people out there or something like that. Normally we have some great gazebo guests over there, but no gazebo guests tonight. So unfortunately, Sherry Johnson's not here to yell the N-word across all of Tulsa tonight and have a really good time out there. But some people commented on my outfit tonight. Last time we did this, Zach was doing his best to look like Island Life Zach, so I went with a frat boy chic tonight. Got my shorts on, but I had to top it off here. Got myself a nice Keystone Light to get her going here, so we always got to get her going. There you go. That's for y'all out there. That's for one person watching in Boston. Now, earlier today, I took a big L, guys. I know you probably can't tell it. But of the things that you think I might be into, one of them is definitely horse racing. I have a lot of jokes for one person. But yeah, my horse lost. He did not win the Preakness, finished second, which is the worst. You'd rather just finish in the back. But even though I know and I was taught how to read a gambling sheet, I'm a real idiot when it comes to gambling because at the end of the day, when it comes to horse racing, I'm just like, I know this is the fastest horse, but I got to go with the names, right? I got to go with those horse names. And it's so stupid because they know how to get me going. They know how to get me going. They can just name a horse winner. You just name the horse winner, and I'm going to bet on that horse. And I'm so dumb. It never wins. No one names a good horse a winner, right? That's to get you to bet on that horse. There was a horse I bet on called From Gate to Post. He was going to win from gate to post. And I was like, there's another one called Win, Win, Win. And another one's called This One's Going to Make You Money. And I just put money on these horses constantly. And I think they're fucking with me. I want to be the guy that names horses. I think it's the best job in the world, right? But I think they're starting to fuck with me because starting to see horses that are a little bit more personalized. Hey, dipshit, bet on this horse. Hey, chubby oaky guy, watch it on your patio, bet on this fucking horse. Hey, Devo, bet on this horse. We guarantee it's going to win. Put your entire life savings on it. We guarantee it. So what I'm saying, guys, is clearly I've gotten into comedy to get the lucrative money because I've lost everything gambling on my porch this summer. It's not been it's not been that great. We learned a few things. COVID times are shitty, right? We've learned a few things about ourselves. First of all, we've learned that we can all we can fill up recycle bins way quicker than we thought we could, right? I went from maybe a handle of whiskey a month to 3 handles in a week. And I feel bad for all those poor sanitation workers picking them up out there. But what I also learned, we learned that gyms are stupid. We saw this, right? I'm not breaking any new ground here. We saw in Florida where people were protesting that they couldn't go to the gym and do push-ups by doing push-ups outside the gym. They're outside the Capitol doing push-ups. And save yourself $80 a month, man. You can just do this outside. Really, it's not that tough. But I do go to the gym. I know you may not tell. Under this layer, I like to make sure that, I don't want to make other men feel bad. So I like to keep a nice layer of fat over all my muscle just to make sure everybody's very comfortable. But everybody wants to be good at something at the gym. You might be good at jumping rope. You might be good at doing, pull-ups or whatever. Given my build, I am very good at deadlifting, which I realize that what I'm good at is just picking things up. Which, if you've ever been to my house, you would not imagine that I'm good at that because it's dirty as fuck. But apparently, if you put a bunch of weights on the end of the bar, I'm all about it. But, some old fucking Wendy's that I ordered drunk the other night, that shit's staying there for 3 weeks. We're going to see if those Wendy's fries age better than the McDonald's fries. But yeah, no, it's the other things that we've done in COVID that I've learned is that I'm kind of like a shitty godfather. The Godfather does favors for people. It's like, hey, come here, I'll do some favors for you. What I've learned is apparently I'm the sucker that owns every streaming service known to man. And I am just like, I've got like 20 people in my pocket because I happen to have an HBO Max account. And then this is like a network. I got the Disney Plus from a friend, but I dole it out like it's mine. It's like I'm doing some elaborate web of lies with my logins now or whatever. Yeah, we see those other logins on there. They got the one that says, Greg, he's not the real guy. That's me. I own all this content. Now, please go share it and have fun, and make sure that you don't fuck up my feed. That's the worst. Have you, I assume that some of you have significant others, maybe. I don't know, looking at you, maybe not. There is nothing worse than having a Netflix account that doesn't have all those other accounts and your significant other just fucks up your entire matrix or whatever. And you're like, I'm a cisgendered straight white male and it's 2020. I really don't think I want to watch The Handmaid's Tale. This is going to be some very bad news for me. It's going to make me feel really bad about myself. Now, where's those old reruns of The Cake Boss? Because I'm hungry. What I have another thing that's happened during COVID, and it's not fun. It's not fun to talk about. It's not great. I recently went through a breakup, and breakups always suck. The person I broke up with, absolutely fantastic human being. Not a bad word to say about them or whatever. But they're great. I guess I'm pitching them. Here's an advertisement for them. They're great. I'm a jackass. No. But what I found out is it's very weird because she was a comedian and he is a comedian. She did not pass. But I don't think what happens is, and this happens a lot, if a guy dates a female comedian, they start thinking about, after about 6 or 7 months, they're like, I could do that. I could go up there. I could be funny. I could go up and tell some jokes. She's not that funny around the house. I'm fucking hilarious. I'm the Carlos Mencia of my domain. Here's your song. But that doesn't happen for other relationships with other jobs. No guy who's dating a surgeon goes, after a couple years, goes, I saw Cindy perform that hysterectomy the other day. I could fucking do that shit. Give me that scalpel. Let's go start mutilating some bodies. Let's go do this. And then it's someone that's doing a different type of job. A guy dating a stripper. He's not Candy, you work that pole pretty well, but I can work a fucking pole. Let's go see. Let's go have a competition. Which one of us can get more dollars next Friday night at amateur night? It's just not happening. It does happen in one other thing, though. Politics. It's happened in politics. We've seen it. There's lots of wives that get involved with politics. Most notably, Hillary Clinton and William Jefferson Clinton. You might know him as Slick Willie. But I'm just really hoping that Ivanka doesn't follow in those footsteps. And I know that he's married to Melania, but he really wants to be married to Ivanka, and so that's probably where it's going to go at some point. Jesus Christ. If we are trying to pick between Megan Thee Stallion and Ivanka Trump in 8 years, this is going to be... I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be very, very conflicted based upon my browsing history. But, but it's going to be rough. So the other thing about breaking up, and I've learned this recently, I got on Tinder again, right? People been on Tinder out there. You've done the Tinder, the Bumbles, the whatever. The Bumbles. That's legit. That's scary when you get a message on Bumble because you're like, oh shit, this girl's actually into me. I have to actually own up to this. I'm not just swiping right like a madman. But what I noticed about being on Tinder is this. There is a direct correlation between my level of drunkenness and the age range slider. When Devo gets a little spitwinkered, a couple shots in, he's like, all right, 35 to 45. That seems reasonable. Couple more shots in. Well, 10 years isn't bad. 30 to 50. Let's do that. That's good. That's good. A couple bong rips. Maybe a couple more shots. Then you're really starting to question your commitment to having a relationship with a GILF or wrecking your future by getting into some very questionable company down in that 18 and 19-year-old range. It's just not, it's just don't go there, people. Oh boy. All right. So, yeah. And here's what I'll say. As much as Tinder and Bumble and all of them suck, and boy, they really do. The worst is OkCupid. Because OkCupid, which me and my friends dubbed OK2Kids, is basically you have to come to terms. This is what I'll leave with. When you become single in like your 30s or late 30s or 40s or heaven forbid your 60s, what miserable person would do that? You really have to come to terms with what level of crazy you're willing to deal with just because she doesn't have kids. Because I have spent 40 years building up that disposable income. No, let's be honest. I spent 8 years building up disposable income. That's mine, baby. Those G.I. Joes, those are mine. Those aren't yours, kid. I'm playing with those. We're going to have a good time. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much. Let's bring Zach back up here. Keep it going. Keep it up.
Yeah. It's Fat Boy Devo. Usually I go Island Zach, but it's kind of cold tonight. This is the Guido Zach. Tony Hawk Zach. Oh, I wish I could skate. Fun. You guys ready for the next comic? I'm very excited to bring this man to the stage. Please welcome Uncle Gary.
Howdy, you guys. I'm Uncle Gary. It's not just a stage name. It's not just the lie that the single mothers I've fucked told their kids. My sisters have progeny, all right? I'm an actual uncle. And sometimes I got uncular duties I got to attend to here and there, all right? Like, I've got a nephew who lives in town. Sometimes I babysit him. Last time I did that, he's like 10 years old. I was like, okay, this is going to be easy peasy, pudding and pie. We'll just stay up all night playing video games and drinking whiskey or whatever 10-year-olds drink. Whiskey in my day. And that went well. But I had to stay the night. So in the morning, some other problems arose. I want to be a good uncle. So I had to cook some food. We're going to eat today, And so I made some breakfast I thought everyone could be cool with. Some scrambled eggs and bacon. Normal shit. And I cooked the bacon all regular and stuff in the oven. But then the eggs, I slow cooked on low heat, always turn into the center so it would be moist. I put my heart and soul into these eggs is what I'm trying to tell you guys. And then when I set the plate in front of my nephew, he took one bite and then slid it to the side of the table and just said, sometimes people make eggs better than others. Sometimes kids turn up missing, all right? You ungrateful fuck. Don't you tell your sister. Don't tell your mother I said fuck. She gets upset when I curse at her children. I was upset, all right? I needed to walk around the house by myself to figure some shit out. But he kept following me around, asking questions. Hey, Uncle Gary, what are you doing? I was trying to figure out how much it costs to get a vasectomy with no insurance. Scram! You're mucking up the process. I gotta be careful about how I let my temper take hold of me, though, because I get upset about things that don't even matter. I'll read news articles online, and I can't even get to the meat of the subject because I get into a fugue state with how pissed off I am at all the grammatical errors I'm coming through. I'm just going through editing this shit you need a comma here. There should be a semicolon there. How the fuck do you misspell an ampersand? Somebody did it. Call me old-fashioned, but in my day, a period used to mean more than, hooray, I'm not pregnant. It was a punctuation mark denoting the end of a sentence. I'd say go to college to learn this shit, but don't go to college, y'all. It's too expensive. Cheapest I found when I was of age was like a gently used sedan per semester. And that was before you even factored in the textbooks. Like, a new college textbook's going to run you between $50,000 and $100,000 usually, in my experience. And then you're lucky if you can sell it back to the bookstore at the end of the year. Like, the dude behind the counter just be like, oh, what'd you pay for this? $200. Here's $12. Take it or leave it. That's like 10 cents on the dollar or whatever. I dropped out of college. Bad math. All I'm saying is I know kids who will tell you that's a bad deal. And they work for Nike. So I got tired of that, and I decided I was going to just drop out after my second year. So I sent a text message to my twin sister. I was like, hey, guess who decided to drop out of college? And she said, me 2 weeks ago. Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of college dropout. Parents are proud, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm an uncle, I'm a college dropout, I'm a twin, but first and foremost, I am a man of God. Not your God, goddammit. I got my own thing going. It's like an admixture of Hindu and Buddhist philosophy tossed in with some down-home Terrence McKenna-style psychedelic exploration. May the jeweled veil of Indra hang low, my friends. Hang low. But you don't have to worry, you guys. I'm not like trying to start a cult or nothing. But I will still fuck your girlfriend. Typical cult leader behavior. And with my hair down, I kind of look like a pre-swastika Charles Manson fused with a Charlton Heston in those Moses movies. You know what? I am going to start a cult. Fuck it. My cult's going to have all the good shit that the other cults do. Like sacraments. Our sacrament is going to be whatever substance I'm abusing at any given point to forget my childhood. Tonight, it's White Claw. Yeah, dark days for my cult. And we're also going to have songs like the other cults. Like, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountains that Jesus Christ was a code word the ancient Christian Jews for their sacramental hallucinogenic mushrooms. Yeah, you got it. All right. Despite everything I've said up to this point, you guys, occasionally a woman will still let me fuck her. Consensually, I'm a feminist in that respect. And sometimes that'll happen for a length of time, and that's what sociologists like to call a relationship. Yeah, read an online news article, goddammit. And the last time that happened to me, a few years back, it only took a couple weeks for this girl to like start texting me, asking me to do stuff too. We'd already fucked. That was on the table. She wanted me to like tie her up in ropes. BDSM. That was her fetish. It proved tough for me to accommodate because my fetish is respecting women. But love is about compromise. So I tied some knots on her ass, you guys. I strung her up like a Native American dream catcher in the window. I bound her like so much financial debt binds us all to the government. I gagged her like actual laws that prevent you from showcasing the dire living conditions of pig farms in North Carolina. And you know what? All similes aside, she liked it. She was into it. And since I acquiesced to her shit, she had to let me do what I wanted to do. Which, to be honest, had nothing to do with her. It was acid. I like to do acid, guys. I really enjoyed doing acid. I would still involve her sometimes. I remember this one magical 4th of July evening. I stayed up all night just tripping balls and eating pussy. There was fireworks in the sky. Because of the holiday, not my pussy eating skills. They're all right. They're not fireworks in the sky or nothing. That's silly. But eventually, she got tired because she wasn't on no drugs. And I could tell because she went, "Get the fuck off me, I'm tired." I was just like, all right, fine then. The tree people were calling me outside anyway. And y'all, I was 8 hits of acid deep. The tree people were actually calling me outside. So I went out there. Eventually, I looked up in the sky, and that's where I met Yggdrasil, the world tree. You might have heard of him from Norse mythology or the Avengers movies. He's kind of a big deal, okay? Now, Yggdrasil isn't your basic bitch tree from any average-ass forest grove. Yggdrasil has the face of a lion. That's weird to see on a tree. And then instead of bark hanging down from it was a bunch of big boobies that were the same color as bark. And they weren't like comforting perky tits or anything. These were long and strong, so I respected them so much at first. But eventually, Yggdrasil caught me gawking and shot snakes out of its nipples to eat me. So I was like, all right, fine, the universe. I'll leave you the fuck alone, too. Just go back inside and eat improperly labeled taquitos from Quick Trip, you know. Make those solid life decisions I'm so well known for. What are you going to do, you guys? I'm a Pisces. I don't fucking really know what that means. Everything I've learned about my zodiacal symbol has come from an attractive woman I've met here and there. There's this one girl I worked with when she found out when my birthday was. She's like, "Oh shit, Uncle Gary, so many things are making so much sense all at once about you." She's like, Pisces is the oldest of the astrological symbols, and so they tend to be over it about a lot of things, you know, like living and shit. So they fall into traps like substance abuse and alcoholism. And I was like, stop, I'll take it. I'm looking for an excuse for the problems of my life. It's the bill. I'm also an INFP, I found out, which stands for 4 words that I don't remember. I'm sorry. You can look that up online. Look that right up. It's a magical age we live in. But the website that told me that redirected me to a website where it's like, hey, here are some other famous examples of INFPs. There's Ewan McGregor. Okay, cool. There's William Shakespeare. What? How did you get that? And there's Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Uh-huh. I get maybe you can extrapolate how Shakespeare would have answered some questions from his writings, but who the fuck is taking the Myers-Briggs personality exam vicariously for Jesus? They're just looking at their WWJD bracelet like, what would Jesus do? He would answer the following multiple choice questions exactly as follows. And when I looked back, there were 2 sets of Scantrons in the sand. Adonai, Adonai. All right, I'm going to sing you guys a song before I go.
Yeah.
I have this habit of ruining Disney songs from my childhood. Unfortunately, allergy season's upon us, and my falsetto is garbage. Usually I have the voice of an angel. But I'm still going to try, so we're going to make do. There's a song in Pocahontas called Just Around the River Bend, and I rewrote the words to be about fisting a gal you're in love with or whatever, you know. So, I'm going to sing it and go, so enjoy it or don't. That's how it fucking starts. What I hate most about people is, to your face they're always nice, but inside their judgment of you is always growing. But if you have an open mind and promise you'll play dice, well, I'll tell you what really gets my pussy flowing. Put just another finger in.
just another finger in. I look once more, put just another finger in. I'm not even sore, and that thumb's still flying free. I'm not a whore, these are just the times we're living in. Put just another finger in for me. Slide in for me. I can feel it there, my spot of cheese. It's just behind that third knuckle. I'm trying to ignore all of your fumbling. You'd make a handsome, sturdy husband if you would just heed my call. And then tonight you'd finally hear me coming. Put just another finger in. Just another finger in. I look once more, put just another finger in. I'm not even sore, and that thumb's still flying free. I'm not a whore, these are just the times we're living in. Put just another finger in. Just another finger in. Should I take the smoothest course? Steady as the beating drum. Should I marry Cocoam? Alright, I'm getting sued by Disney for that. Or do you still wait for me, fist giver? Put just another finger. And ba-do-ba-do-bum. Thanks, y'all. I'm Uncle Gary. From the porch, motherfucker. Uncle Gary, keep it going. Oh, that was fun. To the whole park. Oh, they learned today.
The children were very into it.
Yeah, right? They were singing along.
Cooler than they were before.
Yeah, I saw a lighter out there, actually. That was kind of cool, just waving back and forth. Surprised they kept it up with the wind. All right. Please welcome to the stage, Brian Bizak.
Oh, this is great. It's just like being back at the old VFW. Bunch of people drinking heavily who are definitely not eligible for military service. A lot of people hate on 2020. I'm actually liking it. I'm really into peeing in people's yards. Lots of good excuses. Last year when I do that, people would be like, Brian, get the fuck inside. What is wrong with you? They're like, get your corona face out of my house. Pee in the yard. Yeah, it's good to be here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to go around and tell everybody that Zach Amon has a WAP. A wonderful ass porch. This is great. He's got this really cool sign right here. I don't know if you guys saw it. It says, I see candy in your future. Zach, it's going to be really important to take that sign down right after Halloween. The 11 months, other than October, that sign is terrifying. So my wife grew up in Peru, so she's 100% Latina. And I grew up in South Tulsa. So I am 100% scared of this neighborhood. It is weird being up here on Zach's porch for this long. Usually I'm just in and out real quick, stealing his Amazon packages. So nice to be able to ease in a little bit. So I'm 35 years old, and I've come to realize that the dreams you have in your 30s are pretty different than the dreams you had in your 20s. For instance, 20s dream. I'm going to be rich and successful. 30s dream. I'm going to pay some of the bills next month. I'm going to live in a big, fancy house. I'm gonna live in an apartment that has not been on an episode of Cops. I'm gonna be on Comedy Central. I am gonna do my best on this porch. It's football season, and I've noticed there's some pretty big differences between college cheerleaders and NFL cheerleaders. Like, college cheerleaders are students from the school. NFL cheerleaders are strippers who needed something to do on a Sunday. College cheerleaders are like, go team! We love our school! NFL cheerleaders are like, go team! Go team! And if we win, 2-for-1 lap dances at Stiffy's Gentlemen's Club. Different ways of supporting the team, I guess. My wife recently hired a guy to come work on our sink. And while he was doing the work, she decided to Google his name. Now, here's a tip. If you're suspicious about a person, Google their name before you're alone in the house with him. So I get this phone call. Brian, there is a man in our house who did time in prison for child porn. I'm like, what? Really? I didn't know my Uncle Steve was in town. She's like, no, Brian, the plumber. The police walked in on him looking at child images. What should I do? And what am I supposed to say? Oh, yeah, honey. Yeah, go ahead and confront the convicted sex offender while you're alone and he's holding a wrench. So, unlike the police who walked in on him, we had to let him finish. That one's dark and true. I didn't make that up. Well, I made up the part about the Uncle Steve, but the rest of that was some true shit. I recently learned that the word gelato is Italian for $10 bullshit fake ice cream. Gelato is the biggest Italian fraud since Chef Boyardee. I'm an American. I get my ice cream at Brahms, where they have cheap ice cream next to a weird-ass little grocery store. I am a father. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and the names of these kids' snacks are not making parenting easier. Like last week in public, my daughter loudly says, Daddy, I want to eat a pirate's booty. And I cannot explain to her why she should not say that. Thanks for nothing, pirate's booty. Fake ass popcorn garbage. Tastes like crap. The way Christianity is going in this country, it's really just a matter of time before the Jesus stories get corporate sponsors. I already know how it's going to go. Jesus walks on water. Sponsored by Speedo. Jesus feeds 5,000. Sponsored by Golden Corral. The Crucifixion of Jesus. Brought to you by the Home Depot. All the adult stores in Tulsa have names like Christie's, Patricia's, Priscilla's. I want to see a sex store named Bill's. Because everyone knows a guy named Bill who they do not want to have sex with. It just makes sense. Think about it. Bill Clinton. Bill O'Reilly. Bill Cosby. If you name your son Bill, put some money aside, there's going to be some legal trouble. I have a theory that the people who make the little chicken flavored ramen packets have never actually tasted chicken. I mean, those little foil condom wrappers, I'm convinced just have salt, MSG, and residue from old crack pipes. How else could it be so bad and so good? My wife grew up speaking Spanish, which sometimes leads to trouble. Like, our daughter was in swim lessons, and I asked her, I said, so how's swim lessons going? And she says, yeah, it's going okay, but she's only doing it doggy style. And I was like, excuse me? What? She's like, yeah, doggy style. I'm like, you don't know what doggy style is? And then I'm like, you know what doggy style is. Come on. Doggy Style was the best gangster rap album from the 90s. Everyone knows that. All right, I'll leave you with this one. I like to make lists of phrases, and I recently came up with a list of phrases that I've only heard come from the mouths of white people. Okie dokie. See you later, alligator. Let's call the police. Whole Foods is worth the money. Thanks, guys. I'm Brian Bizjack.
Keep it going, Brian Bizjack. I hit the button. Sure
Oh no.
disgusting.
No.
Anyway, Brian Bizjack. And please welcome to the stage next, Lauren Turner.
Let me get a beer.
Grab
This
a
is
beer.
So casual, it's fine.
No, go ahead.
Thank you. I didn't know I was next. I was just, we were going to see what was going to happen. We're going to see. Anyone been extremely depressed for 8 months, but finally had a hit of serotonin in the last 2 days? That shit is good. I'm like, I feel like a person again because he might die. Beautiful. So good. Everything is upside down and fucked up. I know you're trying to forget that. But we need to talk about it. I'm going to know things are right side up again when I wake up in the morning, and my first thought is not, maybe we should have all been more supportive of Jeb Bush. What? No. Corona's been rough for me. I feel like this is the most vulnerable I've ever been to being initiated into a cult. They're like, are you lonely? Do you need attention? Do you need something to believe in? I'm like, absolutely, I will join. You want to fuck my wife? I've heard that's part of the package.
Yeah.
Anything for Idrisil. It's been cool. It's been cool during Corona to see every girl that has a ukulele learn how to roller skate. That's been fun. I'm like, good for you. I'm in a deep depression from looking at my own face during Zoom meetings for the last 8 months. That's a recipe for low self-esteem, folks. Also, who wants to go to a meeting where you look at a close-up of everyone's face reacting to what the fuck you're saying to them? It's a goddamn nightmare. I was working remote for a couple of months, and I realized I'm a better remote worker. And really that's because I discovered when I went back that when I'm off in the office, 80% of my effort is just all day trying not to poop. That's my whole day. All my focus is like, keep it tight. All day. At home, I just take a shit and move on. I went to a new chiropractor during all of this because I've been tense. I needed an adjustment, right? Apparently, he was some woo-woo bullshit chiropractor, right? I go in, he said, I can tell you're feeling a lot of despair.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you need a degree for that, you stupid bitch? Really? Then he told me I had daddy issues. He's like, I feel it in your spine. I was like, I did not come here for an attitude adjustment. But thank you. Crack me in half and let me move on. Anyone else been watching a more than usual amount of porn during all this? Yes. Yes. I've discovered during this, there's nothing more annoying than trying to watch porn and being in a very active group chat. You're like almost there. It's like, the last thing I need to think about when I'm about to come is Landry Miller. Thank you. It's ruined. I just have to go to bed now. Fuck all of you. What a nightmare. Not to reveal too much about myself, but I was watching something that was double penetration, and I had a thought. It's simple math, okay? Right? So, you know how in math, when you multiply two positives, you get a negative? You know, none of you finished college. Do you know that? Okay, it does. When you multiply two positives, you get a negative. And DP is kind of the same thing, right? It's like straight sex times straight sex equals kind of gay sex. Your balls are slapping. It's a little gay. It's okay, but let's just be honest about it. Okay? It's math. It's not. Moving on. I figured out I was gay when I was 30. So that's fun. If you figure it out that late in life, then you probably missed some signs along the way, right? I've been thinking about this a lot. One, this one was easy. Softball, 8 years. Bitch, where was your head at? That one's obvious. As a 10-year-old, I had an affinity for linen pants. I don't want to go to Limited too, Mom, but I would love some linen pants. Could you find me some of those? That was me. I had this memory of watching Fried Green Tomatoes. Have you guys seen this? It's low-key lesbian as fuck, right? It's really about a lesbian relationship. I cried at the end. And then I hid it from everyone I was with because I was like, if they see me crying, they're going to know I'm gay. And the only reason you think that is if you're gay and hiding it. Yeah, right? I'm like, that was deep. I knew. I was a huge Melissa Etheridge fan as a child. I was like, yes, girl, come to my window. Thank you. My first crush was on the most femme handsome brother. Good luck figuring out which one that was. It was Taylor. He was a beautiful woman. So pretty. I'm like, I haven't done these jokes in months, but I'm still kind of bored with them. But I guess we're just going to keep trudging forward. So I've had to come out in the last couple years. The only people I have yet to say anything to are my grandparents. That is because they are like, that's like the Bowser of coming out, right? I'm not ready for that yet. I'm on the ice levels, sliding around, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. That's where I'm at. Probably the craziest thing anyone said to me when I was coming out, they were like, you're gonna lose weight. Like I was gonna shed my repression or something. Corona hit, so no. But no, I was like, I said I was gonna eat pussy, not vegetables. Like you can eat pussy and French fries. I wouldn't suggest doing that at the same time. Salt is abrasive. You don't want to scuff anyone up down there. You don't get a lot of air. It's not going to heal up right. You're welcome. Did I learn from experience? We don't know. Okay. We don't know. When I first came out, one of my friends wanted me to be in her wedding as a groomsman, which is a bridesmaid that wears a tux. So we went to Men's Warehouse for a fitting. And I don't know if you all know this, but men's tuxes are not made to fit women's bodies. So I went out, I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to look like fucking... I used to say Ellen there, but that's not going to work. So think of any other hot androgynous lesbian besides Ellen. That's what I thought I was going to look like. Right? I was like, this is amazing. I looked in the mirror and I was like, I look like Steve Harvey. So, from the neck down. This is great. She was like, do you want to put a deposit down? I was like, fuck no. No, thank you. I figured I was gay because I met someone and it's a real, so I have no experience, right? She is a gold star lesbian. Never touched a dick. Very experienced. It's a real Space Jam situation. Monstars versus All-Stars. But I am Elmer Fudd. I'm not even the hot bunny. I'm the team with no skills, no talent, struggling the whole time. We don't belong there. I fucked that one up. It's been a minute. Her and I were in a long-distance relationship for a year and a half. Yeah, so that means I spent a lot of time playing my fiddle. Yeah, towards the end, at the beginning, it was like a nice Celine Dion ballad, right? But towards the end of our time apart, it was like a real Devil Went Down to Georgia situation. Just like... just like furiously fiddling. The last month before we got, she moved down here to be with me, I had to charge my vibrator for the first time in a year. Because I woke up one morning and my forearm was sore from trying to masturbate while on antidepressants. And if you don't get that joke, you're hashtag blessed. Because I was making smoke. Little smoke signals were coming out like, please stop. It's getting hot down here. She's really the first woman that I've had sex with. So I've had to learn how to fuck a woman. Men, you're simple, right? It's not that hard. It's a jack in the box. You keep turning the crank, turning the crank, turning the crank. Boom, we're done, right? It's simple. Learn to fuck a woman, it's like trying to learn how to read Braille. Just feeling around in the dark, like, what does it mean? What does this mean? You have to learn the come on me code. Left, right. I don't know it. I still haven't learned it. She's satisfied. It's fine. She's the top. We work it out. I was hanging out with some friends lately, and they asked if I had an innie or an outie, which was a weird question, as it was. But I was like, if you look like me and you have an outie, that's called a hernia, and you need to see a doctor. It's problems. I worked with someone who was always trying to give me legal advice because they were like, my husband's an attorney. I live with a lawyer. I was like, okay. Well, my roommate sucks dick. It doesn't mean I understand. It means nothing, bitch. Nothing. Okay. I'm going to tell one more and then I think I'm done. Oh. I've missed this. This is so fun. Thank you for having me. Oh my God, it's been so long. Did any of you play Oregon Trail when you were a kid? Yes. I loved Oregon Trail Day, but I was always happy to have to walk my fat ass down the Oregon Trail. I would have not made it. I'm not of hardy stock. Okay. It would have been like, here lies Lauren Turner. She spent all her money on tobacco and fire water and dropped dead 3 miles outside St. Louis. I shit my brains out today because I ate a pizza yesterday. So I won't be making it. Okay. I used to work in public health and people would rack their brains trying to figure out why people on the West Coast are healthier than people who live here. They're like, it's because we came from people who got this far, and we're like, fuck it. We made it one state away. You know, like, we set out on an adventure, and honestly, we had one. So, let's just stay here. You guys want to just chill? Yeah, our homestead might blow away in a tornado, but it's fine. All right, that's my time. I'm Lauren Turner. Thank you.
Keep it going for Lauren Turner.
Yeah!
And please welcome our final comic to the stage, Trevor. Carry on, everybody.
How's it going, guys? Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm disgruntled. Mostly because if you took a picture right now and you titled that picture, "Man Trying to Achieve His Dreams," it wouldn't be a lie. I'm standing on a front porch. I'm in Tulsa, some part of Tulsa I'm not familiar with. I live on the south side where it's safe. There's a park across the street. I don't know what kind of park it is, but I hope it's a dangerous one. I hope somebody comes across the street and mugs all of us. They murder us all with a knife. Violently, too. And then I hope the knife doesn't kill us. But then we go to the doctor, and then the knife had COVID, and then we cough to death. Like our president. Told you I was feeling dark. A lot of opinions about the president getting COVID. I think I have the only opinion that matters. We got to cancel the Secret Service. They had one job. Protect the president. We couldn't even do that. Speaking of getting stabbed to death by a random bystander across the street, girls used to like scars. I don't think that's true anymore. They do like emotional scars.
Never been mauled by a bear, but my dad did yell at me. That's really sexy now. Oh, it's dumb. It's so dumb. A little bit about myself. I don't know. I don't want to do the Mexican joke. I want to do this joke. I was talking to my grandma the other day about life because the world's fucking insane. You guys all are living it. I just wanted some advice. I wanted to know how to go on because she was born in 1919. If things go as planned, she won't be around much longer. She's like 102. If she lives much longer, she's a vampire, and then I have to vanquish her. It's not a good story for my grandma. But I was asking her what I should do for the future. How do I get by? And she looked at me in the eyes and said, "Trevor, sweetie, I don't know. I'm glad I'm gonna die soon." Fucking bitch. I think after 103 years, she would understand what advice is. I think you guys are on my mom's side with that joke. It's perfectly fine. I don't know. I'm a millennial. I think it's a strange generation. I live in the only generation. In the past, if you talked about how the world was ending, people would say you're a crazy person. Now, if you talk about how the world is ending, you're just informed. It's a much scarier situation. And I think millennials get a bad rep. People say we're entitled, or lazy, our toast is too avocado-y. And that's all true. Also, fuck you. Avocado is nature's butter. Thank you. We get a bad rap, though. We were the first generation to be given full access to the internet. Kids in the 80s could barely handle a little bit of crack cocaine and some really good music. You gave my generation instant access to all of the porn that's ever been invented. I think we're doing okay. Listen, I have all the respect in the world for the generations that went to war. But when I was 14, I saw a woman that looks like my mother get fisted. There's just no recovering from some things. No, my generation is so fucked up. Imagine when I was 4, 2 Girls, 1 Cup came out when I was in 7th grade. Imagine if your generation was introduced to sexuality through 2 Brazilian women shitting into each other's mouths. Now tell me you don't understand how this safe space thing happened? I don't want to be here. I'm going to get a little weird. I wrote this joke specifically because I didn't know if I can tell this joke. I had 2 uncles growing up. 2 great uncles, and they were okay people. One of them told me street jokes my entire life. The other one tried to molest me. Both of them are probably equally why I became a stand-up comedian. The creepy one tried to molest me. He didn't. I was street smart. My evasion skills had like a +7 buff on them when I was a kid. 2 nerds in the background. But the one that tried to molest me was creepy and gigantic, and like it was terrifying as a kid because he would sit in the corner of the room and he would literally stare at me and drool. But then later on in life, I found out that in the womb he was strangled with his umbilical cord. So like he wasn't all the way there. He was mentally challenged. So my question, I wrote this joke because I want to know: can I make fun of this mentally challenged man if he tried to fuck me when I was 6?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't drooling because he was mentally challenged. I was snacking when I was 6. Oh, thank you. I just wanted to do that. I'm done, guys. Have a good night.
Keep it up for Trevor Carrion. Woo! Give it up for all the comics you've seen tonight. Uncle Gary, Brian Bizjack, Lauren Turner, Devo, myself, Guido Zach. Or Tony Hawk Zach. I actually like that one a little bit better.
Tony Hawk,
Tony Hawk Zach. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for coming out to this. Before you leave, we got Devo coming up to do some announcements for what's coming up in the future. Thank you guys. I have been Zach Amon.
Get up your host, Zach Amon. Oh, it was a great night here tonight. And big shout out. The network that we're on is Soundstooth. You can catch all sorts of crazy shit on Soundstooth out there. Download the app. Check out all of our podcasts. You can catch Zach, myself, and Sean Singleton on the number one podcast in all of Tulsa, and the number one Trailer Park Boys podcast. I assume it doesn't start the Trailer Park Boys getting greasy, but check out everything on there. We got a brand new show out recently called Friday Night Death Slot, featuring Quinn Blakely and Bradley McPherson. We got Landry Miller doing something. I don't know. Spare some change. I don't know. It's you know, yeah, it's all touchy-feely stuff. But yeah, check out the Soundstooth app. But we do have some major announcements for you guys. If you are in the Tulsa area, these are for you if you're watching out there. We have some new open mics starting up pretty soon. Next week at Crow Creek, we have an open mic at Crow Creek, I believe 8 o'clock on Thursday nights at Crow Creek. Come out and check that out. And please, guys, if you are watching this and you want to try comedy and you haven't done it before, we are welcoming of everyone that wants to get out and try comedy. So bring your friends out and try. You know, like, we need new blood. That's how you keep a scene going. We also, on October 14th, have a brand new open mic starting at the Hunt Club. It will be outside any night that it's able to be outside. So if it's not raining or freezing, it'll be outside on the Hunt Club patio. On October 11th, there is a show at the Looney Bin called Laugh Liberally, hosted by Michael Patton and 918 Comedy. It is $20 in advance, $30 at the door, and proceeds go to help Joe Biden's campaign. If you would like to go watch that, that'd be great. Also, 1017, our next Porch show. 1017, our next Porch show here. I forget the lineup. I think Bradley McPherson's on it. I'm probably on it because why the fuck not? And I think Zahava Glazier's going to be on that one, and some other people I don't remember. Oh, Dakota Six Killer, and a bunch of other people are going to be on that one. 1024, there's a show at 473 Sounds 2 Presents. That's all outside. Great lineup for that one. We have Julie Drake coming up from Oklahoma City to be on that one. We have Landry Miller headlining. We have Josiah Patrick, Zach Amon. I'm hosting that one, all that fun stuff. Also, be sure to check out all the great streams that we have coming up on Soundstooth. Every Thursday night, we have Talk Show Incorporated. On this Wednesday night, we have the Soundstooth Game Show. There's all sorts of other stuff that you can check out on the Soundstooth stream. And last but not least, an actual no-fooling commercial, because we would like to make some money at some point. Hey, do you like playing? Do you like playing role-playing games and figuring out who done it? Well, then you should check out Hunt a Killer. Hunt a Killer is a game that is fun. I don't know. I haven't played it. But if you want to check it out, you can go to huntakiller.com and use code SOUNDSTOOTH and get 20% off. So you might as well go check it out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Follow us, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, wherever the fuck we're at. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.